Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick comparison video on a curling iron like this versus hot rollers like this. So, okay, the curling iron that I'm going to be talking about is my Revlon 3/4 inch. That's what it looks like. It has a little clip. It's not the clipless one. And it has 30 temperature settings. It has an on-off button, so you know when it's on, and it like has a bright red thing. And the cord is swivel. And my the curling set, the hot rollers here, is by Remington. There are 20 velvety rollers, and this is a box that it came in. And it doesn't really have like a particular name for this. All it says that like to distinguish this one from a different box is the Curl Envy right here. And in this, there are 3 roller sizes. There's a jumbo, which looks like this. I think this is like an inch. And then there's 3/4 inch, which is this. And there is, I think, 1/2 inch, which is this. And each one has one side that's a hole and one side that doesn't. And you put the whole one into the hole that corresponds to it in the heating rollers. Now, with a curler, it has like a quicker heat up time generally. With this curler, I can heat it up for about, I think, a minute, and it's hot and it's ready to go. And okay, I'm going to go with the pros to the curler. The one biggest pro to this curler is that if you have heavy hair like I do, or a lot of hair like I do, then this tends to set the curl and keep it over days versus it just falling flat once you're out. And that's because if you have heavy hair, it's difficult for, I mean, you need a lot of heat for your hair to be able to set and stay that way, even if you use the best hairspray in the world. And that is what this curler does for me. However, the time it takes to curl your hair takes a lot longer with a curler than with rollers, because your hair or your arms tend to get tired. You're just going. It's not where you just put it in and you just do whatever you want for the next half an hour. Also, the one thing I don't think people realize is that I realized when I was doing my hair that one side of my hair looked kind of different than the other, and I wondered why. So I was talking to a hairdresser, and she said that that's because when you do the left side of your hair, most people generally tend to start on the left side of their hair, first of all. If you're right-handed, you tend to do your left side first. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. And you're kind of new and fresh, so you have energy, so you do it a certain way. When by the time you make it to this side of your head, you are not as energetic and your arm's kind of hurting, so you tend to hold it in a different position whether you realize it or not, and that ends up making your curls look different. So you end up doing that without even thinking that you are, so you have to be careful when you're curling your hair with this. Also, there's a much higher chance of you getting burned with this, and I've gotten burned I think 3 times. I have a big scar on my shoulder from this actually, because it gets that hot. Now, on the other hand, with rollers, I like these, but not enough to keep them because my hair is not as light as other people's hair who rollers would work on. And the reason is because you heat this up for 5 minutes, you leave it in the box, you heat it up, and you leave the lid open. And so it takes 5 minutes right there to heat up. And then once you put it in, first of all, I tend to get burned a lot. Like, I got burned at least like 25 times, like around the side of my head, like right here, because it's touching my skin. But then the heat wears out pretty soon too. Like, I would say in about 10 minutes the heat is gone, and once the heat's gone, like a heatless curler is not gonna keep my hair, because of how thick and dense it is, in the same shape that it would if this was high heat. And so what I realized with this one is that I went out 30 minutes into going out, my hair was pin straight. And my hair is not naturally pin straight to begin with, but because I guess, I don't know, like it just became pin straight even after I had like put every, hairspray product into my hair to keep the rolls. It didn't work out for me. But at the same time, I tried this on somebody who has much thinner hair than I do, and it worked out amazingly well. So it's kind of like a 50-50. And these are the clips that it comes with. This corresponds to the white rollers, the black rollers, and this. But I will say, if you're a novice at curling hair like I was, rollers is the best way to start. It's a lot easier than a curling iron, in my opinion. So once I started doing this, I kind of got the courage to use a curling iron, and that came out to be just as good because I guess I learned how to do it over time. But I would try a curler, see if it's right for you, because if it is, this ends up saving you time, because it takes 5 minutes to heat when you can go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your hair, whatever. And then you put this on into your hair, and like when you start with the first curl and you're down to the last one, you can just go back and take all of them out again, and it's generally done by that time. And if not, you can walk around and do whatever you want until it's set. So you're not like kind of handicapped. It doesn't really take as much time of yours to do. In my experience, it took me about 15 minutes to put all the curlers into my hair. And even though I have a lot of hair, I didn't end up using all the rollers. There are 20 in here, and I ended up using about 16. So if you have hair like mine or something, you can kind of judge for yourself as to how much or how many rollers you would require. Anyways, that is my review. If you want any questions answered about these two products, let me know and I will be happy to answer them. Bye!